Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jersey is perceived by many outsiders to be an island full of banks and trust companies. The truth, as most of us are aware, is far from that. Whilst the island does have a large portion of its income generated from finance, there is also a diverse range of alternative businesses. I have no argument with the financial investment industry or an economy based around finance. My concern is for those of us who form the majority of the population that throughout our lives also contribute to our economy and elect representatives to formulate policies to protect our island. We then find the pledges made only become cast aside to apparently embark on damaging money-making ventures, possibly harming Jersey's financial status. The borrowing of monies by our government in order to take advantage of low interest rates appears irresponsible by where the purpose of a government is to govern, not to compete with the business on the street. The whole purpose of taxation is to provide the means in which to pay for the infrastructure, and as Jersey is allegedly debt-free, for what purpose do we need to borrow further money? Jersey should be promoting the island on the world stage as a stable financial centre by the demonstration of our debt-free status and encourage deposits into the island. The concept of the formation of a state bank, as in Bank of Jersey, where any bona fide Jersey or Channel Island resident could open an account and know the deposit is 100% guaranteed safe, along similar lines to the UK Post Office accounts that would be operated and backed by the States of Jersey Treasury in, for example, a banking and investment division, allowing both the populace to have secure savings and demonstrate a stable economy and government to the outside world, thus probably securing an even greater portfolio of investments to the island's commercial, financial, investment and banking companies. Our economy is made up of businesses from all sectors, which does receive support from the populace as a whole. However, our government appears to be more intent on taxing in some form or another at every opportunity, instead of investing in the local businesses that actually support the local economy. Jersey's economy needs a balanced infrastructure of businesses that is competitive to other economies, which allows for local growth and foreign investment based on sound principles of governance. I am standing for this election because I would like to see future governments address the imbalance created by the lack of consistent governing where supporting our community is concerned. I am focused on the economy and finance issues today, whereas the previous hustings meetings have concentrated on other subjects. There are certainly more issues to be deliberated upon as these hustings continue that will be uploaded to my website in due course. There has to be a better way of doing things, and with your support it is my intention to seek ways to improve the support that our community needs. On this panel there are 4 future state senators. You have the choice within your power to decide which 4 you feel will represent you, your needs for the present and future. After all, democracy is the right to choose. Thank you for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to be here to answer your questions tonight in Parish of St John's. I'd like to tell you a little about myself and what I stand for. I'm a housewife, mother and grandmother, and came to the island in the mid-1960s with my parents. Fell in love with it and its people. I was brought up in the business world, where I was a director on the board of several companies. I'm happily married to a local Jerseyman for 38 years, and have 2 daughters and 2 grandsons. I ran the Corby 24-hour recovery service for 25 years with my husband Brian, and have lived in all walks of life in the island. It's my opinion that too much burden is being put upon the shoulders of the lower and middle earners of the island, and an unfair tax burden also having been put upon local business because of the introduction of 010 that has left them with a totally unfair and unlevel playing field with their non-locally registered counterparts. The economy is due for a double dip. Shops are reporting lower sales. I'm seriously worried how people will manage, and I doubt that many of the workforce will see a cost of living increase next year. So the lower paid will only struggle more. The cost of living has risen from 4.5% since June, and GST has contributed 1.3%. Land development tax recorded in many states' reports have suggested to lift Social Security caps for higher earners to those earning 100,000 and the I2IK. Finance and insurance companies do not pay tax, and all their supplies and services they receive do not pay GST on. They are only required to give $200 a year to the states. The austerity policies that are in place at the moment have been caused by profit politicians who have been blatantly representing big business. Austerity cuts equal the slashing of public expenditure, and the pain is now beginning to be felt by the lower and middle earners of the island. Cuts to all departments and social programmes are putting a totally top-heavy burden on the lower and middle income earners, and not those at the top of the ladder, like the chief executive, who recently got $500,000 golden handshake. So it is them who will continue to suffer the most until a fairer system can be put into place. I would personally be looking for and researching ways to save as many jobs as possible in our finance industry. In fact, any industry. I have no desire to destroy it, and we need as much as anything else that provides jobs or brings money into the island. But what I don't agree with is foreigners who put money into Jersey accounts to avoid paying tax in their own country. I would support a tax threshold being raised for the lower and middle income earners, due to the cost of living being so much higher than that of the UK. Too many people's income do not keep up with the cost of living index. A proper immigration system, possibly something akin to the Australian points system, with police checks for criminal records could be introduced. I want to see our children better educated and given real job opportunities. Right now we have a system that businesses have an allocated number of staff that they're allowed to employ from outside of the island, which they apparently lose if they do not use up their allocation. I truly believe that it's the role of any state member to do the greatest good for the greatest number, and all politicians should be honest, keep their word, and be after being elected. I love the island and would love to represent those small walks of life, living here in a fair and just manner, with honesty, integrity and transparency. I am straight talking and I keep my word, even when on occasions it has been to my own detriment. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please consider me for one of your votes. Thank you.